and I'm going to let us speak for a little bit and make sure that our volume is good for them, because I test it and then somehow something happens. Hello, everybody. If you're just tuning in, let us know if we sound like we're underwater. That's what I'm told it sounds like. We got Coach Kareem in
Underwater.
the house. Underwater. Yes, it does. Guys, everybody's been asking for you. Hold on, let me make sure that we're good over here. I'm coming. I don't see the chat yet.
Mm,
I can put comments
mm,
up now. Did you know I
mm.
mentioned you in my video yesterday? A
Oh,
lot.
yeah?
Yeah, I did. I was like, Kareem was mad at me. I didn't answer comments.
Mm.
Kareem's like,
You
shut
have
up.
to.
Remember what I told you to say in Arabic on the phone? This, you could say it
Yeah, you're
now.
just trying so hard. Okay. She was saying, do you want me to say it in
In
Arabic?
Arabic, yeah. So no one knows
Okay.
other than my Arabic friends, family.
الشباب اللي متابعين بالعربي هي بتحكي لكم انه في تعليقات هي ما قدرت يعني تعملهم شو، خبت التعليقات. كنتوا تحكوا لها انه لو تلبسي بشكل افضل، بشكل اكثر احتشاما، وهي وصلتها المسج تبعتكم وبتحكي بتتوافق معكم، بس ما خلت التعليقات تظهر مشان ما حدا يحاول يعني يعتدي عليكم او يحاول يهاجمكم. That's it.
Wow, that was long. I'm like, is he talking some smack? I trust you.
Mm.
Okay. Everybody's excited about this topic. We got some people that worked in Big Pharma.
It is very hot topic, by the way.
I
It is
know.
very hot topic, and like it is little bit restricted on by YouTube algorithms.
Is it?
Oh yeah,
Well, it's a
you're
good.
not allowed to talk about this shit.
Guys, if you didn't know, I'm going through the process of monetization, and a human, not an AI, is going to watch all of my videos, start to
Not
finish.
all of them. Not all of them. The like the most watched like big videos. They
Those,
don't have time to watch all of the contents.
the ones that did the best are the most controversial.
Yeah, yeah.
So, oh well, it is what it is. Kareem, I want you to come on my show once a week. Do you want to do that?
Once a week.
He's like, I can't deal
Yeah,
with
I'll
this
try.
girl.
I'll try my best. I'll try my best. No
Guys,
promises.
he's our only, how do I say, he's our only gateway or door bridge into what goes on outside of the US in a non-biased way. He's
Mhm.
he's not fake news. That's the best way I can put it. He's very knowledgeable. I tried to see if I could get the comments to come up on the screen. Didn't look like
Mhm.
it worked. Can you see them though?
From my end, no.
Darn it. Guys, why does it do that? We want that, right? Right. Oh, here we go. Okay. Watching from work. Oh, look, I'm cool. It's my birthday. I'm going to lift weights while I listen to this. I love Tuesdays. Happy birthday, John. How do you say it in Arabic?
How do you say what?
Happy birthday.
كل عام وانتم بخير. كل عام
Kolam
وأنت
anta.
بخير.
Do the last part.
بخير. بخير.
Bihaya.
Yes,
I forgot it already. You're going to have to keep reminding me.
that's
Hello,
okay.
Kai. Hello, Hamir. Okay. Just making sure I'm showing all of the comments. What's this about? Big Pharma, bad stuff. Well, we're going to talk about, is
It
Big
is.
Pharma all bad? Is it all bad?
Not necessary, but they do not take under consideration the best interest of people long term.
So,
They care about their profit more than the people interest.
okay. Okay. And
Yeah.
so, how did Big Pharma here this the best way I can put it. My girls are going to be like, "What is capitalism? How did big pharma promote capitalism? And can you explain for the dummies, my
Okay.
uneducated people, what capitalism is? Because they think
Oh,
capitalism is just money, but it's it's more than that.
of course, it is economic system
There you go.
that oppose the communist, which is the communist. Basically, the main difference between it and capitalism is that they do not believe in private property.
Okay.
So all properties should be held by the government. You have nothing like by yourself. The government can give you something to work on, and they will give you like, let's say, your allowances or
Mm,
your like a small salary to live.
like
You
COVID,
got me?
kind of.
Yeah, kind of,
That's the
kind of.
best way for young people, I think, to really conceptualize it.
Yeah, there is no free market. There is no free market because the government owns everything and controls everything.
So, what does
So
that
if
normally
everyone is
cause?
equal, hold a minute.
Okay,
Everyone is equal under communist.
got it.
And the other end, the capitalism believe in private properties and free markets. So it will let you like buy and own your business and gain profits out of it and make your own wealth. You
Mm,
got me?
yes, I like that.
Yeah.
I understand all of this stuff. You explain it a lot better than I could. But I was
Hmm.
going to say free markets. Okay. So let's say we were on a communist regime. Is that how we say it? Yeah.
Yeah.
What what would happen, like what would go on behind the scenes that would technically be illegal for other people to gain more profit, because not everybody abides by the rules? Is that what we call black markets?
Uh, Black markets, yeah, to do things illegal behind the scenes to gain more profit, like behind the government back. It is not totally behind their back. They know about it,
Yeah.
but they give you this like tiny space to breathe. They will
Mm,
leave it.
okay. And
You
then
got me?
I got you. I love when you say that. You got me. I'm like, I got you.
Hmm.
Afternoon, folks. Fun topic. It's fun, but it's controversial, isn't it? Okay. Zach, I don't know where he's at. That's Tim Pool. He looks like him. Guys, if you find anything spammy, just try to get my attention. I'm going to keep looking at the chat, but I don't know where my mods are. So they're asleep. Anyways, okay. So you're saying, okay, before the US was a capitalist country, or were
Hmm.
they always a capitalist country? What were they? Who
There
ruled
were
them?
they, they were always like a capitalist country, like
and
since the beginning,
and that's why
because
people, sorry.
the major conflict with the Soviet Union was between capitalism and communism,
Okay.
and they had a great propaganda like demonizing the communist. Now they're right in generalities, but they are not announcing their defects that capitalism have, which is what we're gonna talk about now.
Yeah.
So for people who's listening to me, I'm not totally against against capitalism in general. I'm not totally against it, but it have to be like there's some
Regulated.
kind of this disciplination and regulation have to be in place to control that thirst of profitability. You got
Okay.
me? Because
Yes.
if the man if the man is and man in general, a lot of people think that man make money because they love money itself. No, they doesn't.
Mm-mm.
They need money to keep track.
What do you mean by that?
That's very important. Money is a metric that you can measure your success. It
Mm.
is not the money itself. I'll give you example. Elon Musk. he worth 300 billion.
I love it.
But he's not buying like 500 supercar with the flying yacht and like other stuff. He's not. It
Mhm.
means he's not after the money for the money itself, but he like to be the number one.
So they're like obsessed. It's like an obsession.
It is competition. It is written in man's DNA,
Hmm.
competition. And a
Okay.
high competent man is a higher value man.
Yes. So
So we use money to keep track, to know where we are, like
status,
against our competition. Yes, exactly.
status. Okay. Is it like that
Yeah.
where you are?
Yeah, of course.
Where is it not like that? I'm quizzing you.
Where is it not like that? What do you mean? Like, be more
What
specific, please.
country
Mm.
that people are very familiar with don't have a capitalist country?
North Korea.
Yes. I was trying to lead you there. And what do we
Yeah, North
know
Korea.
about North Korea?
We know nothing basically.
Exactly.
We it's it's all predictions and what the North Korean government like let you know.
Right. And so
The,
that's
the, re- the rest is so like intelligence work, but it is not really released. Let's say, even if they know a good information, they will
they
not
won't.
release it to people, to general public. They know
Right.
it for themselves, like the intelligence agencies. Yeah.
So would you say they're like super far on the communist level? Does that make sense?
North Korea, yeah.
Okay, so the US is probably the furthest on the capitalist side.
Yeah, it's the other
Okay.
extreme on the capitalist side.
Okay. And then is there any country, I don't know the answer to this question, so if you know, great for you, but is there any country that is getting it right, that's probably implementing some communist ideas but runs in a capitalistic way that works?
Let's say communist is a self-destructive strategy long term
Why?
because it kills the competition instinct in people.
You th-
That's what happened with Soviet Union.
yeah, see, I don't know about Soviet Union.
That's what happened with the Soviet Union. It kills the competitiveness, let's say, like for lack of better term,
Yeah. No, you're right.
inside people, because people are driven by competition,
Yeah.
and the whole society is developed based on how competitive individuals in that society are.
So what does
So
that
if
look
if
like?
if, if you're carrying all the measurement, all the metrics, and you're not giving them any opportunity to improve,
Hmm.
it kills them from inside. And you need just like enough years for whole society to collapse.
And what does collapse mean? Like, let's say if there's no competition, how do they know? How do I put this? It's like, what does that look like from an outsider's perspective? Like, if it's
Okay,
collapsing, does that mean people are dying? Or does that mean that people are retaliating, protesting?
pe- people are dying. No, they can't protest. It should be totalitarian regime,
Okay,
such as like what Stalin have, and like the real communist. Let me give you a short story and link it back to feminism.
okay,
Do you know how you heard you studied psychology? You know about the victimhood mentality. Do you
absolutely.
know when does it start on a mass level?
Usually in the beginning, right? Or
And
you're saying, repeat that question. What do you mean, when does it start?
I got you. Stupid. Okay.
No, like victim
Uh,
mentality is when you try to do something at least twice where you've been shut down. So your result is just to always shut down, even in a situation where your opportunity is there to go over
no,
the.
I meant victimhood mentality on a mass level.
No, I don't know.
O-
Tell me.
Okay. Okay. What happened in the Soviet Union that there was demonizing. They call them. There is a social layer It's called the Kolag
The
in
colag.
Russian. The Kolag, yeah. The Kolag was hyper productive people in the top echelon of the farmers' layer of society,
Like
let's say.
hierarchy, kind of?
Yeah,
Like triangle?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So there was the top echelon of the farmers in the Soviet Union. So there
Yeah.
was very hyper productive. They used to hire other people and to produce a lot and to gain profit a lot.
Mm.
You know, there's the small liar like by geniuses in every society
Oh, yeah.
that when it, like wherever you put them, they will make money.
Yeah.
They just have the talent. They have the high drive, like
Elon
of co-
Musk
of competent. Yes, exactly.
and Jeff
So
Bezos or whatever, right?
yeah,
Okay.
this like this layer of the Kolag, they call them the Kolag. They start to have like a lot of money to the rest, more than the rest of other people.
Mm.
And Karl Marx himself and the rest of the base core of communists, they believe in support poor people. So they start to push the poor people, especially farmers, against this wealthy layer of farmers,
Mm.
the hyper protective who own business, who hire like hundreds of men to work with them and to gain more money. So they start
Sounds
to
familiar,
demonize, yeah, they start to demonize these people.
right?
They're having all the money, like they are genuinely evil. They don't want you to have your own money, so
Hmm.
they are gaining the vast majority of the profit in the market. They are getting bigger and bigger, and you are getting poorer and poorer.
Yep.
the
So the,
general pub the
sorry.
general public swallowed that narrative,
Hmm.
and they start feel resentment against the colleague.
Yep.
You got me?
Because we see that in the US. Keep going.
Yeah. So they swallowed that narrative. They start to feel resentment against this hyper productive layer, which is the collag,
Hmm.
and they keep demonizing the government, keep demonizing them until they built a concentration camps for them. They took over all of their properties. People used to like the poor people used to get into their properties and like robbing them, taking everything, raping their women's and like taking their shit. So and the big colleagues
Yeah.
was putting in concentration camps,
Got
uh,
it. There.
working very hard like slaves with
Wow.
nothing.
Okay.
So, what does that produce on long term?
Well, let's take a step back because suddenly we entered concentration camps.
Hmm,
And can you explain that a little bit? Like you're saying that it created such a divide that
hmm.
they started to implement, like why, like the way I see concentration camps are, let me take over the entire country and get people to work for free for the government. That's how I see it. But what is a concentration camp in
It
a
is
good
more like
way? Is it ever good?
Auschwitz. It's more like Auschwitz
Okay.
in Germany, but here in the Soviet Union, it was like a big jail, like with work on it. A big
So,
jail
yes.
with work on it. So you will be like slave. You will work your ass off, and you will get no return for it.
But how did you get into the camp? What put you in the
Ah,
camp?
they took all the collag. They took all this like rich people and hyper productive people after demonizing them for the general public until they really hate them.
Yes.
So their action, like in jailing these people, it was justifiable for the general public. They
Got
was
it.
shouting for it. Yeah,
Okay, got it. Cuz that
you got.
that we don't understand. Like that is going to be clipped. Somebody keep a timestamp.
It is very like very similar to what's happening now with the rich people. Tax all rich,
Tax
tax
the
all
rich.
rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to break them down out of envy, and
Yeah.
resentment.
And you
They
can see
didn't,
that. Yeah.
and they didn't gain this money by stealing.
Nope.
They are geniuses, and you're taking almost half of their profit
So
on
let's,
every single year. So what happened? Let me, okay,
yeah,
because
how
the
to
conclusion
break.
is very important. The conclusion is very important.
Yes.
So how like what was the result of that? Now they took them, all of them.
Hmm.
They will work in concentration camp until like they die. They took all of their businesses for the government and divided by poor people. So that they will give their businesses and like piece by piece the lands for poor people. So poor people, yeah, they got the lands and they got everything, but they don't know how to run it like those smart people who's in the jail.
Oh, oh, Kareem, you're
You,
so
you,
good at
you,
this. Keep
you
going.
you got me?
Yes.
Yeah. So this okay. Now the colleagues are in jail, working their ass off, but getting nothing. Most of them died, and some of them they died by people. They killed by people. Some of them are killed by people for this amount. Like I'm mentioning
Yeah.
that for you to
To
understand
understand how much the
the
people
level.
hated them.
Yeah, the level of resentment and hatred that people have to them. So what happened like that for that? Uh, I don't know what they call it.
It's
Mass hunger.
mass hysteria.
No, mass hunger. Like people was
Hunger.
very,
Okay. Yeah, yeah. What is
yeah,
that called, guys? It was hold on, let me mass hunger is when it's starvation, something.
starvation. Yes, a mass starvation. A mass starvation took in place in the next 20 years, resulted of dying out of hunger.
They starved to death.
They starved to death around 25, like
Famine.
approximately 25 million people starved to death. That was the result of this communist agenda.
Do you see the comment on the screen?
Yeah, some of them.
Famine. That's what it's called. That's our word.
Yeah, yeah,
And
famine.
so you explained all of that so well. I just learned some new stuff.
The, the victimhood mentality
Yes.
that the feminists preaching work with the same way.
Yes. Can you guys? So let's explain how it works in the same way for somebody that doesn't really understand feminism. We're going to do a brief.
Oh,
Feminism was the women's movement where women wanted to preach for equal rights. It transformed, this is the worst explanation, but just for the sake of time, it ended up turning into, at least in today, wanting equal rights for both men and women, broke up marriages. We kind of explained it in our last episode, but how we view feminism today, in your opinion, what does that look like? And make it draw a comparison to everything that you just said. Does that make sense?
oh, okay. The common thing between two is they are two using the victimhood mentality,
Yes.
but on a mass level.
Mass level.
They let all women feel that they are this layer of the society,
Mhm.
that the poor, weak people, and the other layer of the society are the demons, are the bad.
Kareem, you just like blew my mind. Like it's all tying together, and I'm just like, whoa. Is anybody else? Keep going. Sorry. You know I don't.
Yeah,
You keep talking. I'm
yeah.
listening.
Yeah, so this is like the victimhood mentality to
Toxic
generate.
masculinity. This is grape. This is
Yeah,
the yes. Okay.
this is like this. The men have all the power. The men are all bad, genuinely bad, and you are the weak people.
Right.
And we are here to feed you that narrative, to let you feel that you're really weak. And these men are like demons that they are doing that. They are raising this level of resentment and hatred against men.
Very high. And even with the
Like exactly what they do to the Colag people.
Yes.
So they start by two strategies: feminizing men and uh, let's say put the alpha like masculine man in concentration camps.
Yes. And then so when it comes to government involvement, like the government got involved with the kulaks and put them in concentration camps, what do the governments kind of do with single moms, let's say? Do you catch what I'm getting at in terms of welfare, money from
Mm.
the government? They kind of promote this. Well, if you are getting a divorce, you're going to make a lot of money from it. The government's going to help you. You're going to get the money from the dad, right? It's like not
60
proportionate.
billion, 60 billion dollar industry. It is. The family court is still $60 million in $60 billion
Billion.
industry. Yeah,
Guys, think about
that's
that. That
that's
is
right.
a high number. Billion. How much
Mm.
money is in the US? Does anybody know? I don't know.
It is. You have to understand all the variables to put
Yeah.
things together. You got me?
Yeah.
So I'm talking here about the family court itself for the government.
Yeah.
The other variables is why the divorce lawyers take over than $300 per hour.
Mm-hmm. They have an
One,
incentive to make them look bad. They get paid more, right?
of course,
Okay. It's not
of
always
course,
like that for like injury lawyers. It's specifically divorce.
yeah.
Anyways.
One of them was having interview with let's say one of the media guys, and
Mm-hmm.
he was like they was having the interview in his backyard, and he told him, "Why do you think I have this Rolls Royce?" He said, "Because I'm making money out of it. I'm making real money, like by thousands of dollars on every single day."
They have an incentive to use all of the loopholes, as we would call it, to
Hmm.
extract all the resources from the man as possible because it's like a commission, not commission, but they get, well, it is commission. They're getting more if the woman is getting more. So there is
Yeah,
a greed. Greed? How do you
the,
say that in
the,
Arabic?
they are getting percentage out of what the woman is getting, so they work on making the woman gain more because their percentage gonna increase.
Mm,
You got me?
always.
And
Kareem always explains it.
women don't mind it.
Of
Women don't
course
mind it.
not.
You
They,
know that there is lawyers in Arabic world. They can handle a case with $0 upfront for divorcees woman.
we can do that, but it's always rare that the woman wants to. It's like where you sign a paper, you do it online. No one does it that way. It's very rare. It's called an amicable divorce.
No, no, no. Even like even if she went to, she will find a lot of lawyers
Yeah.
will can handle her case. And if she said, "I don't have zero money to give you right now,"
Oh.
they'll tell her, "That's okay. I'll take 30% out of what I get from this son of a bitch."
Oh, like is that called contingency? And but it's
It
something
is
where
percentage.
yeah,
It is
the
percentage.
lawyer can get paid after the case is closed, right? That's what you're
Yeah,
saying? Okay.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
um
So they will work hard to break this man back
yeah.
and to take every single dollar out of him.
You know what's sad too? I would make the argument that if a man would give you whatever you needed to, if you guys were getting divorced, he would support you until you needed it without the courts. But the lawyers work like the propaganda that we were talking about earlier, how they keep making the woman almost emotional. Like, oh, if he did this, then you should get this out of it, right? Kind of?
Hmm,
Okay. So
exactly.
how does big pharma come into this? What is,
Okay.
we're switching a little bit, but it'll make
Okay.
sense
We explained communist and we explained how it's self-destructive
and how it
because
ruins. Yeah.
you have to let people compete.
Hmm.
It is not equality for everyone because people are different.
Yes.
There is there's different attribution and skills, especially intellectual skills among people. So smart people, like high IQ people with certain personal traits, will make it better than the rest of people. So let it be.
Right.
Let them get rich because they are not stealing. They are producing for
Yeah.
the society. So if they are producing by legal way, let them do it.
Yeah. It's,
and
go ahead.
it is a bad strategy to give poor people money to help them. You are
Hmm.
not helping them, you are making them more lazy.
How would we solve that problem, Kareem? I always ask you how to fix our problems.
You have to reprogram the people.
So, do you think it's education, like poor schools are kind, or
Yeah.
like, so almost like the, I don't want to say different races, but it can
Mhm.
be like that in inner cities, right? Where there's more diverse culture. The schools aren't funded enough. People argue in the US that that's because the rich has all the money. How does
I
that
got
make sense?
I got some notes here, you
Hell
know.
yeah. I'll put some comments on here while you get them. Guys, like this video if you haven't liked it yet, because this is some good stuff, right? Double
Hmm.
standards. Most Americans have no idea what it was like in Eastern Europe. History is the great teacher. Yes. Like, when was the Soviet Union? I
it
couldn't tell
it
you.
it broke in 1994, I believe.
So I was in the womb. I was almost born. That's crazy. That was not that long
Yeah.
ago.
No, not a long. Like after the war, the Cold War, a long Cold War with the
Oh,
United
yeah.
States,
Bad.
they broke. Yeah,
So do
they
we
broke down.
like
It's
Russia?
collapsed.
I don't even know.
Let's say like by moral judgment, like Russia in general is better than US.
Well, like, I would want them as my ally, right?
Hmm.
And so are they our ally? I think they are. I don't know. I wouldn't fuck with
Mm,
them.
of course,
you know?
they're very tough people. You know that like they have enough bombs and missiles to destroy 7 planets like Earth.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But didn't they go to the moon first? That's what I was hearing. And people were trying to say America did. I don't know if that's the C word, but what's
Mm,
funny is nobody ever talks about Russia. It's always
mm.
China that we're scared of. I'm like, if anybody we should be scared of, it's the ones that no one's talking about in a good way. I'm saying that with like love.
They're allies now. You have to be afraid of both.
But it's like people will call out China all the time. We just call them
Mm.
out. But there's something about Russia. It's like we know not to. Like big dick
They
energy.
think, like the politicians, the United States politicians is dumb. They do not think on long term.
They don't.
China, since 30 years,
Hmm.
they have the one child policy,
Yeah.
and their fertility rate is dropping like to near 1.3 right now. And it keeps dropping even after 5 years of leaving the
Hmm.
one child policy. They are trying to increase the replication rate right now, but people is not getting married and they are not having children because they have that in the back of their mind. They're being programmed for 30 years. So
Hmm.
the fertility rate is dropping really hard in China. I will never
You want to know another thing before you keep going? So
yeah.
there's a very large, I don't know the percentage of men in China that how there's not enough men for women in the US. There's so many Chinese men. Why? Because when it came to the one
Selective
child,
abortion,
yes, they chose the man. And look at
of course.
how it messed it up. It messed it up because you want to carry on the last name, right? That's the way I saw it. But when you don't,
No, there is other reason.
why?
In the Chinese tradition and culture,
Mm,
and by the law, the
the
male,
man
the
takes
male,
care of the old people.
yes,
Yeah.
and the law force them. So you
Mm,
would rather you would rather have a girl that she will abandon you on 18, or a man
right.
or a boy that he will take care of you for the rest of your life.
True. That's so true. I forgot about that. Good call, Kareem. Okay, and then what were you saying before when I cut you off when we were talking about I think I was
Yeah,
saying
I was talking about China. They
yeah,
are like they are so afraid,
programmed.
but for short-term thing,
Like
the
what?
which is the economic rising.
Mm,
It will be temporary.
okay.
Because in the next 30 year, China gonna be like declining, like gonna be collapsing. I'm talking from a demographical point of view.
Okay.
They will be collapsing. There will be much old people and less young people.
Because of
So
the
the
birth rate. Yes. Okay. I'm
yeah,
following.
so the economic consequences of that is economic collapse, because
Wow.
old people do not generate wealth, do not
Right.
produce things. Like if you have like South Korea,
Yeah.
50% of the population are over 65.
We talked about this too. And I was like, I would
Yeah.
be terrified to have a kid there because they're all prodigies. I meant it as a joke.
Yeah. So the new like the babies like below 5 is less than, I guess, 3% of the population. They're not almost having baby at all.
Why?
So who's gonna work in the next 20 year if there's no baby? Okay,
AI.
the 40, 50,
Yeah.
yeah, that's very long term for AI to replace a human
I
being.
mean, it's replaced here in the US, Kareem. You don't see people checking out groceries. You don't see, um, what else do we do? You can get anything
No,
in a
no.
machine. Yes, in the
Not
US.
not really.
Yes.
Dubai is Dubai is far ahead of US regarding this AI stuff, by the way. So and like no, you need some time. It's not happening in the next 2, 5, 10 year. It's not.
Well, our mom
It-
and pop stores, like not Walmart, that's how I explain it, they closed because of COVID. A lot of them that have been around for years. And so that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
people are scared of.
I'm talking about the artificial intelligence
The
like
robots.
revolution. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It needs time. It needs time. It never gonna be in next 5 or 10 year.
We're
So it
almost
needs
at the
time.
metaverse. I'm
Yeah.
scared, Kareem, of robots.
The metaverse is virtual reality. So let's put it aside. Don't like fuck this up.
I'm fucking it
Okay?
up. Oh,
Yeah.
I swore.
S- So what will happen that the Chinese population will start to decrease and collapse in the next 30 years. So it is not really a long-term threat,
So we're not
but
scared of them?
the leftist who's ruling you,
Hmm.
they do not have that long term like vision. They
Yeah.
do not think about that. If they think about that, they will never break the marriage institution.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going. Okay.
Yeah,
This whole
yeah.
time I was
They,
scared of China.
there is short term happiness
Hmm.
and long term suffering.
Right.
That's how the leftists think. They think about the short term happiness of
True.
women. Yay, we can do whatever we want. Okay, what's gonna happen to the society in the next 50 years?
Collapse.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Egalitarianism. What was the country Jordan Peterson talks about? Like, not Norway, not, is it Sweden? It's like they,
Sweden, the most egalitarian country.
yeah, he says their economy will collapse soon.
Definitely.
Yeah. But
And
people,
you and yours also.
oh, yeah. Hell yeah. We're collapsing. We've been collapsing. I feel
Mm.
like.
The economy charts like I feel there's a bee stinted because of the inflation.
Oh, yeah. How much did we print during COVID? Question.
Around 5.4 trillion
With a
out of
T
thin air.
trillion. Oh,
Yeah, with a T.
okay.
1,000 billion
Mm, mm.
out of thin air. It's just a paper.
They don't even ask us permission.
Of course they don't.
They're
Like
like, fuck you.
Federal Reserve Bank is a private bank, so they
Yes,
do not give a fuck about what people want or need. They will
at
do
all.
whatever they want.
Remember, we talked about the government doesn't necessarily hate their people. I was saying that I think they do. And
No,
you
they
said
don't.
no, but I think they do. Why would they do that?
No, no, no. It's not the government.
Oh, right. It's the private reserve by guys.
Yeah, it is who
Quantum.
controls the government.
Okay, so when in terms of capitalism, feminism, big
Wait,
pharma. Oh,
hold a minute. You
okay.
you mentioned you mentioned something about education.
Yes.
The education debt in United States. You know that women hold 70% of the educational debt. Do you know what
I'm
is
not
that by number?
surprised.
Do you know what is that by numbers?
That means that majority of
70%.
student loan debt is held by women. 70%. That's a lot more women that have been in college in the last.
The number will shock you.
Yeah, is it a T, a B, or an M? Trillion? Billion?
It is 929 billion.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I hate my gender. I'm just kidding. Like, what the,
That's
how?
what that's what I'm telling you of short-term happiness versus long-term consequences.
We're miserable with jobs,
That is
guys.
very, very high IQ discussion, guys. Like the fucking video.
Like, okay, wait, of that money, thank you, Corey. Like this video, of that number, how many finished their degree? That's a question I want to know.
They take around 10 to 15 year to pay it back.
I hate
Yeah,
us.
like really, really. Look at uh,
I'm not surprised.
Obama.
Yeah,
Obama.
the repayment
Obama.
plan.
Obama himself. He says that he paid back his educational debt, like his loan, around 5 years before he ran to the presidency. 5 years.
Yep.
It
And
took him half of his life.
the reason for that, if anybody's had a student loan, I'll explain it really quickly. I had a $5,000 loan that I used for books that I never read. I didn't understand it, right? I was 18. Nobody in my family went to college. I was like the first one. So I got $5,000. I was working in a nightclub. It was the grace period of when I wasn't in school. So you have like 6 months before you need to start paying it back. Otherwise, in school, you technically don't have to. I made over 10 grand one month and I put it towards I paid the entire loan. I go in the app, it says 5,000. No, it said like 4,900. I paid something. I did that, right? 3 months later, no call, no nothing. I get a letter in the mail at my parents' house saying that they deferred my loan, that you haven't paid it. So what happened was when I made that payment, there's two things. There's your actual principal, the loan. I was trying to pay the entire thing, the principal payment. Then you got the interest. This is where it gets confusing if you're young. What I
Hmm,
did was I didn't specify, and they're under a lot of fire for this. I didn't specify that I wanted it towards the principal, the amount. They took it as, oh, this is how much interest. You covered the interest for however long. And the
hmm,
interest accumulates every month. 2% turns into 3% every time you're not in college. So just imagine the amount. It's
hmm.
crazy. It's some bullshit. It's some bullshit. But
Yeah.
anyways, keep going.
So what they are selling women by now we are having a better education than men. Yay!
Whoever made
Okay.
us get jobs, your mom's a hoe.
All okay. You had that master degree, smart ass, but you will be in debt for the next 20 year. So you need to work your ass off for the next 20 year to reach zero.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not to make wealth, to reach zero.
Yep.
You are 20 years behind, like below the zero. You
Yeah.
need to work 20 years to reach zero debt,
Yeah.
and then you have to work to do any accomplishment.
And guys, let me tell you this, psychology wasn't always something to go into. We know psychology is the number one female picked thing. I took it as well. I don't have debt and I didn't go on to get my master's. Why didn't I do that? Because I knew that this degree, whether I go to get my master's, graduate school, it is economically impossible for me
Lowest paying job.
to have been able to pay that school amount when I got out as a clinical psychologist. It was economically impossible. And I say that because to get to comfortably, no, to, let's say all my money that I was making every month went towards this loan, it would still not pay it off before I die. That's how
Hmm.
crazy. But people can't conceptualize that. They're like, do whatever you want. Half of them don't even finish it. And women
Hmm.
aren't programmed to work for the rest of their life. Men know they're going to do that. That's
Yeah.
something that I was talking about. I ask girls, I'm like, do you see yourself working until retirement? They're like, retirement. They haven't even thought about a retirement plan because they don't
Hmm.
expect to work. I'm like,
Hmm.
so what? You wanted to take out this degree or take out this loan to get a degree to work in a job that you don't really plan on working for less than 5 years. You want to have babies and a family. Why? Why did they allow us to have
Okay,
finance control?
let me get you this number, and it will does really connect all the dots in your mind.
Yes.
65% of the students in the United States are women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
It's
so
crazy.
women are getting better degrees in
Mm-hmm.
almost like by number. They are dominating the universities and colleges.
What does that do
Okay,
to men?
hold a minute. Hold a minute. Listen to the rest of this. Less than 30%, less than 30,000 annual,
Mm-hmm.
according to the US Labor Department.
Mm-hmm.
This layer of less than 30%, 30,000 per year, 80% of them are women. Lowest paying jobs.
I am in that category. We're dumb.
Yeah, but we're not talking about like it is not really a personal issue, guys. You have
It's
to
not.
open your dimensions really, to open
Mm-hmm.
your paradigm to understand the bigger picture here.
Yes.
They are getting the most of education,
Mm-hmm.
and they are getting the less of money. A truck driver make more than five bachelor degree holder together.
Yep. I know. I know this.
They are saying we are beating man in the education. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
smart ass, they are beating you on the market.
Yeah, because STEM jobs where women are not predominantly in, those are the high paying jobs. Psychology was entered into the school system, not, I think it was like in the 70s, to get women in college, guys. These are not
Hmm.
high paying careers, but they're very expensive. Keep going. Expensive to
Yeah,
obtain a degree in.
they prefer to study arts and
Right.
humanitarian
Social
the
work.
studies.
Yeah.
Yeah, humanitarian studies,
Yeah.
such as like psychology and the rest of this.
Teaching.
And all of that, the art, including the cosmetics, the personal care, blah blah blah,
Yeah, it's a social
all of
work,
this.
psychology, counseling, which,
Arts.
yeah, no, it's all under liberal arts. These are degrees that pay
Yeah.
40,000 or less. Yes, and
So
you
yeah,
need
so
that
it
degree to get that job. It's crazy.
so 80% of less than 30,000 annual
Hmm.
is held by women. 80% of them are women.
Yeah.
Okay, where's the man? Man is not getting educated, but they are getting much more money than women.
So,
So you're happy with your education and your degree,
Yeah.
and you will be in debt for the next 20 years. Good for you, girl. You
Who
can
do
do
they
it.
think is going to get rid of the debt? They truly believe either the government or whoever they marry is in charge of their debt, but they hate men.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
think it's interesting. Men, if you are watching this, which I'm sure you are, you need to pay attention to when she says if she has a student loan debt, if she has a master's in psychology, just assume she has debt. Seriously. And that's something that you're
Of
going to have
course.
to take on later. And we know about interest, it's going up. It's crazy. It's
Of
crazy. A
course.
man
And
would
she
rather.
and she'll tell you, and she will tell you that I have a higher degree so I can take care of myself. No, you can't.
No. And we know there's been statistics that if you have a master's degree in your dating profile on Tinder, you are less likely to get matched than a bachelor's. Now, the feminists say, oh, they want their women stupid. Think about it, guys. Think about it. That's debt that they take on. I wouldn't want to be with somebody. Also, when you, or wait, no, train of thought lost. I'll come back. Go ahead, Kareem.
Okay, will you rather have a partner
Oh,
with a
I knew you
hundred
were gonna.
thousand?
I knew you were gonna. That's what I was gonna say. The waitress thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Will you rather have a partner with $150,000 in debt that they need 15 next year to work to pay it off, or and have this masculine energy? I'm a PhD. You need that, or you need like a very simple, feminine, submissive, young, fertile woman with zero debt.
if
Your
she,
choice.
if she is a waitress or a bartender, I know we get bad reps. I have a way better chance at securing a man than somebody that went to school, and you're probably like, what? How does that make sense? And it's like, long term, people, men aren't bad when it comes to financial decisions, too. But it's bigger than that. It's when you are in high paying roles, let's say you're a lawyer, you will never be submissive. You might be able to if
Hmm.
you're aware of it, but you are going to constantly be competing. You don't compete with men. They go way
I, ju- I
harder.
just I just laugh out when like when a lawyer, female lawyer, tell me I'm submissive. I said, huh, okay.
I bet you they
No, you're
are
not.
in the bedroom, but I'm talking submissive. Like you and I mean submissive when it's pleasing a man, making, cooking food, being, showing up for him, not
They
just in,
can't.
they
You remember
cannot.
Transformers? You can't. You remember Transformers?
Yes.
No, that's that's
The
just in the movies, guys.
shapeshifter.
The shapeshifters. That's just in the movies, guys. Like you
Okay.
don't need this multi personality disorder around you. No.
It's very,
Because in
it's,
order to be a lawyer, you have to be very assertive, very dominant, and very masculine.
yeah.
So when a female lawyer comes to me, I'm so feminine and masculine, and so feminine and submissive. I say, okay.
I would go ahead and go out with them. If they don't even bake you anything the first couple dates, they're probably not submissive. I know that sounds funny, but it's a thing. They expect you to do all these things. They're alpha women. They're better with betas, honestly.
There is no alpha woman. There's masculine woman.
Right. Right. But over here, that's like what's trending, the boss babe, the alpha woman. It's like, no, you're the worst type of woman. You're the worst type of man. You are a feminine man. Like not feminine, but you know what I'm saying? You're like toxic. Okay, big pharma, bring it in. I know, we're broad.
Big big pharma.
It's like
And
torn.
here when we mean the big pharma as industry, like the pharmaceutical industry is
Yeah.
responsible for the research, development, production, and distribution of medication. That's what we mean when we say big pharma.
Okay.
Okay? This industry, that's shocking. This industry worth $1.27 trillion per year.
Let that
And
sink
that's
in.
and that's last year number, not this year.
Per year?
Yeah, 1.27 trillion. That
And
means
how many women are on
12,000 billion.
antidepressants? One in
12,000 billion. Yeah. So, do you
whoa.
know that the owners and the CEOs of company, how much power they have?
How much?
God,
Like what
they have a
could
lot of power.
they
They
go
have
to
a lot of power.
Mars?
No, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about political power.
So you mean that they can fund different things that they want in order to push that
Of
narrative?
course, they can take people up and they can take them down. And
Mm,
politicians know that very, very, very well.
they're
Don't
corrupt.
the, yeah, don't mess up with huge people. Don't
Mm.
mess up with big capitalists.
Will I get shot?
John Kennedy lost his life after
That's
messing with
why?
them.
Oh
Yeah,
my God, it all makes sense, dude. Whoa, I just had a really big light bulb moment.
he was messing with the Federal Reserve Bank owner. You can't mess with these people, even if you are the United
Oh,
States president. You can't. You just can't mess with such people.
right. He was trying to, what was he trying to implement?
He
Uh,
was saying, "I will kill the bank."
and wasn't there like a thing that if you ever got involved with a Kennedy, you would die? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Marilyn
So
Monroe dated him, right? Crazy
yeah,
bitch.
and she died.
And they were saying that she was very unstable and threatened to expose that. And it just clicked. Keep going.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So this big people,
Hmm.
you cannot really mess with them, even if you are a powerful politician. So you can't mess with them. You can't. There is only one way if you mess with them. It is the way down to the ground.
So you're saying that in order to get rid of a capitalist nation, it's impossible. You will die. Is that what you're kind of saying?
No, 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 no.
I stretched it.
No, no, no. That's not what I'm saying. I'm
Okay.
just demonstrating that to let you understand like how huge this people is.
I wonder what their
Like
hobbies are. It's not funny.
get, getting more rich. That's their hobby.
Like, do you think they golf? Keep going.
So okay.
Like this
If we
video.
if we are if we are coming about, yeah, the stem cells industry in 2020
Hmm.
worth for 14.7 billion, and it's very small.
Hmm.
14.7 billion. And the stem cell is one component that being used by big pharma laboratories to
Yes.
develop medication and like fraxine.
What's
You
that?
got me.
What? Oh, fraction? Wait, what?
No,
What's fraxine?
fraxine. I don't want to say the,
Vax.
the actual
Oh,
word.
you're right. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm not up with the lingo. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. So this one component is very important component,
Okay.
which is the stem cells. Other component is, which is they call it in this industry, they call it the biobanking, which is keeping like cells, tissues, and like pieces of muscles and
Hmm.
cells and other stuff like in bank. It
In the
is
bank?
for, yeah, a big bank. Like there's a sperm bank,
Oh,
there's
duh.
other biobank.
I
You
thought you
got
meant
me?
money. Keep going. Ew, that's so creepy. Who works at one of those?
They need it for researches.
I know we left off on that, but like, what do you call somebody that's in charge of that? That's where we
Uh,
left off in our last
Bo-
video.
biobanker.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. So this one worth around 42 million. This industry worth 32 million. The stem cells industry worth 14.7 billion. And like that was interesting to me that it was 7.4 billion in 2014, around 7
Wait,
years ago.
why did it drop?
It was 7.4 in 2014. Now it is 14.7. It's doubled.
Oh, I thought you said it went from billion to million.
No, 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 no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
It,
Okay.
it doubled from 7.4 to 14.7. It doubled in 7 years.
How?
And big farmers knows that because their expectation was, I got this article from 2014.
Mhm.
They said that in 2020, they are expecting the stem cells industry to be 14.7, and now it is 14.8, and now it's 14.7. So they got
Mm.
just a fraction of being wrong. You got me?
So
They got it
how did
expected.
the only way that somebody could expect it would be to go off like birth rates. I don't want to say the word. To
Hmm.
torsion.
Hmm.
Remember we talked about that in
Yeah.
order to get stem cells from.
Yeah.
So if they can say what that's going to be in our birth rates dropping, how did it double? Or am I
It
confused?
it doubled. Okay. Here I'm just giving you an idea
Okay.
about the very legal stem cells,
Okay.
like by natural way, which is around 15 billion.
Okay.
That's from donation.
Yeah.
That's from like regular birth baby, like the stem cells around him,
Mm-hmm.
like or in their blood. They will keep it in the bank. That's
Placenta.
the orthodox, let's say, the
Yeah.
orthodox way of getting stem
Ethical.
cells. Uh,
Ethical.
and that's exactly, and that's 15 billion.
Okay.
Well, if the big pharma want to follow this way, they will lose a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to find another way to get stem cells and human tissue and cells.
That's.
How?
Mm-hmm. We talked about that. Be careful.
they they will get it from abortion clinics.
Yeah. Without
Yeah.
their knowledge, without the patient's knowledge that that's what's happening.
Yeah, it's just remaining for the patient. It's babies remaining, or they call it medical waste.
See, that was horrible. I know that's not you saying it, but like the thing is, people would argue in the West, they would say, you're bringing up a moral issue that doesn't exist, right? They would discredit you. Why? Why don't people believe you on that? You know what I'm saying? Like the women are like, it's our body. Like you're trying to lie and say they use the abortion babies for stem cell research. Is there proof on that? How do we know
Well,
that?
to make uh, to make women believe you, you have to sell them short-term happiness with emotional argument.
Right, but I'm saying, how do you know for a fact, just in general, like, fuck the women. How do you know for a fact that that's what they're using the babies for?
Ah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of doctors that made their researches on the vaccines, and they found human stem cells used in it,
Gotcha.
in human
Okay.
tissue. And
Guys,
by the way,
clip that.
they mentioned that, like
Mm.
Pfizer itself and Moderna, they mentioned that in their websites.
But they would,
That
I could see people arguing, but maybe it was donated. But are you saying
mm,
it doesn't
it
go match
it
up?
will never be enough from donation.
Got it. Okay. So you can
Yeah.
tell by the amount of donors, let's say.
And
Uh,
hold a minute.
Okay.
By the way, this stem cells bank, which bank industry, which worth 15 billion, that's for people to keep their stem cells, not donation.
Right.
You got me?
Oh,
You
yeah.
will put your baby stem cells in the bank for him, for the future, if he got any disease, to use it back to heal him. So this is not donation. This
Oh,
is
my
keeping mine in the bank.
God. Like, that's crazy to me. There are no words. And people call it medical waste. Listen,
Medical waste, yeah.
I used to be very pro this my body. Everybody knows that I used to be I would preach the feminist narrative when I was a child. It was social media. And when you realize capitalism will literally take fetuses in order to do research, in order to fund these industries, it's just mind blowing. Even as
Mm,
somebody that used to be, it's your body, it's your choice. Like, you can have a change of heart, everybody that maybe is on the fence about feminism. Like, it's okay. We're not that religious over here. So I know when religion plays a role in it, that's like, you guys value human life, right? Yes.
of course, of
Most
course.
people do.
And
But,
in Islam, that's killing. They will
right,
treat you in Islamic rule. They will treat you as murderer,
right.
definite murderer.
And you guys need to understand that like that's why we have Kareem here, because we need to hear it from that side. And when I say that side, I mean overseas, because we don't
Mm,
hear about that.
mm,
That is not what we talk about. And it's like, if you, people say changing a culture, like, oh, blah blah blah, I'm like, no. To let's say you were known as somebody that got an abortion in, I don't know, pick a country by you. You would
mm.
be
Did
shunned
you saw
like
that?
OJ Simpson. You would be viewed as OJ Simpson out there. That's how it's viewed. That's a big deal.
Did you saw that feminist that she was celebrating the number 100 abortion, number 100?
Of her own.
Yeah.
I hope that she will never be able to reproduce ever.
Mm.
I
That makes sense.
I would assume that, one or two would mess up your ability to reproduce. But I don't know, you had 100 thus far. Like, holy crap. Did you
Mm.
know? I heard a secret that Angelina Jolie, you know who I'm talking about? Yeah. She had to have, or she adopted so many kids because it was rumored that she got a child for every abortion. Crazy.
Oh, really?
Hmm. Off
Mm.
topic.
It might be. Yeah.
She she does a lot of humanitarian work. Is she viewed well overseas? Is she like good?
Yeah, sort of.
Or is she just like a celeb that shows up and doesn't really do much for
Well, general public are idiots, so
True. True.
yeah.
Okay. So let's view some comments. I know that I don't
Yeah, read some comments.
we got some. I'm gonna put them on the screen, baby. Okay. Holy.
I, I believe you announced that you will take calls.
We can. However, it's yeah, we got time. Guys, if you want to call, put a 1 in the chat. So I have it set up for it. But okay. Thank you, Marlon. Remember, I was like, wait, the bank? Are you reading it on the
Mm,
screen?
mm.
I'll give you one guess of where they're getting these tissues. I know I was leading. Birth rates are dropping. That doesn't mean pregnancies are dropping also. That's a good way to put it. Why do you think they're lobbying against implementing the 6-week ban? Is he talking about Texas law?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
They gone crazy.
Why, from your point of view, can you explain it for people? He's
Yeah, leftists in general, they're all about freedom, freedom of choice, freedom of my body, my choice, blah blah blah,
short term.
and yeah, and the big pharma is supporting them.
Hmm.
They're literally financing them by actual money.
Dude, that's
They don't want
insane.
their business to stop. They do not care about women's
Absolutely.
body or fucking freedom. You have to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
They do not care. They care about their pockets.
Yeah.
That's it.
So what's going to happen? Are we effed?
Yeah, you
I,
have to read the book by Patrick J. Buchanan. He was
Buchanan,
a
like the alcohol?
he was a private consultant for
Yes.
American president. It's
Yes.
called the Death of the West. You
In
have to read it.
I'm going to put it in the chat for us. Death of the West Buchanan. Is this how you spell it?
Patrick Buchanan, C.H. Buchanan.
I probably spelled it wrong. Sad. I want to keep it here so that I have it. Um, Also, I wanted you in Arabic. Will you let people know that it takes about 24 hours for me to get translation in Arabic for a video, just so they know?
Yeah. آه، راح اترجم هذا الفيديو تحط لكم سبتايتل باللغة العربية كمان خلال يوم.
I want to learn Arabic. See, that was so short
مم.
when you said it. That's so funny.
مم.
Okay, so let's see if anybody wants to call in. I'm worried with, I don't know if you're reading some of the comments, but I'm worried that if I open the phone lines, we're going to get angry people. You understand?
Yeah. عليكم السلام يوسف. Yusuf, my bro here is saying السلام عليكم.
He says something? Oh, we
السلام
like
السلام
him.
السلام عليكم. Yeah.
I remember him. He
Yeah.
wants to call in? Who cares? Shall we become? Hold on, what's this? Who's Johnny? What does that mean, Kareem? Do you see? Yeah,
Should we
everybody's saying
become
don't open the phone lines. I'm not going to open them today.
should we become
What does that mean?
authoratic
Autocratic.
theory
Autocratic?
autocratic
What does that mean?
theory like your country? You, like Johnny, you don't know shit about my country, so do not assume like invent things out of your imagination and like and say that.
Yeah. The trolls are showing up. That's what Zach's saying. Oh, this is David. We like David. Okay. Pat Buchanan, original paleo conservative, predicted a lot of issues we face today. That's the author you're talking about with he was the consultant for 4 presidents. LOL at
Mm,
Curry. Shout out to Alpha Men. A.
mm,
Guys, you can't say you're in your feelings if you have different cultures and values. However, our culture has significantly plummeted into the ground. Look at the issues we have with marriage. I warned you about this. The trolls will definitely show up. You guys are absolutely allowed to. I normally say don't get rid of comments, but today you can because I know we're talking about some serious shit. I'm swearing. Okay. I won't open the phone lines. However, it's 1:34. I feel like we're missing something. Are we?
can, can we
Guys,
make him regular guest? I'll try my best, Joker.
I want to. I've asked him right in the beginning, but he's like, "Oh, she's always late. I'm working on it." He's
Mm.
like, "What time is it by you right now? You're 10 hours ahead?"
It is yeah, it is almost 10.
That's so crazy. It's like
Yeah.
okay, Kareem. Guys, what questions do you have for Kareem? Do you want our video topics to always be about kind of the message between countries? What do you think?
Hmm.
Because this is red pill content, right? Yeah.
Hmm. It is. By the way, let's mention like another thing.
Go ahead.
Uh, do you know why there is this huge like marketing campaign from several companies about the beauty, all the beauty industry.
Do you see them
Uh,
comment on the screen? You're getting to it right now, I believe. Right? That's
I'm
what you're
sorry.
talking about right now. He's saying, did you talk about the reason why major corporations push feminism? And then you mentioned makeup. He's getting there, people. Keep going.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is just crazy.
yeah. Uh, the personal care industry, which is the cosmetic and personal care industry,
Hmm.
worth 532 billion globally.
Holy crap. And this is in,
Yeah.
okay, keep going.
So those people want to get more money
Uh-huh.
by promoting by promoting the beauty
Beauty.
the beauty idols.
So our
Why?
insecurities.
What? Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Why there is like dumb individuals such as Kim Kardashian that can take 2 million out of one post? Why?
Because people are obsessed with looking like them.
Of
But
course.
they don't realize how, guys, as somebody who had a skincare line, all they do is private label. There's a product that's probably $1 that you've probably used with another brand's name on it, and they just slap their name on it. That's it.
Hmm.
They don't make anything that different. Keep going.
Yeah, rebranding.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. But people will believe that, oh, they were in the lab putting colors together,
You know,
guys.
I got a friend who used to be a marketing manager for shampoos company, like a huge one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what did he told me? He said like when you get in mall and like you saw when you're seeing
Mm-hmm.
like different type of shampoos,
It's all
like
the
this is
same.
for dry hair,
It's
this
the
is for oily
same.
hair, this is.
It's the
He told me
same.
this is all the same
Right.
but different packaging.
People
That's
don't
it.
get it. Oh my goodness. Or they say,
Look, the psychological stimulation will make them, oh no, I got this dry that it never works, now I got the oily one, it
and
really works, like
right.
I'm getting better.
It's like the
That's pure
placebo effect.
psychology. Of
Placebo
course.
effect. That's what we call it.
Yeah,
It's all the
yeah.
same thing, but they want it. They're like it might be the same or it might not be, and they think, oh, it's softer. Guys, let me teach you something. The way that a shampoo, what makes the bubbles, that is just one ingredient that does that because the psychology behind it makes you believe that your hair is cleaner. It doesn't clean it. It just bubbles
Mhm.
up. Stupid.
Mm.
I was in biochemistry and making my own products in a lab. So I know all the tricks. Marketing is what sells it.
Do you know
100%.
that there is an indicator, they call it like the economic experts,
Hmm.
they call it the lipstick indicator.
What's that?
Do you know? Do you know why?
Yeah.
Because usually in inflation or like when there is economic drop down,
Hmm.
women tend to buy lipstick more. So they got all the lipstick, global lipstick sales, and they separate it with the individual indicator,
Uh-huh.
and the investors really watching the lipstick indicator
Hmm.
because they tested it like around 5 or 6 times in the history, and it works every single time until this epidemic reach. You know why?
Why?
The personal care and cosmetic industry, let's say barons,
Hmm.
they really hate this epidemic because of the face mask. It dropped around 30%. They lost 30% of their sales during this 2 year, and
What?
like 30% is tens of billions. It is not
Okay.
something.
Wait, you're
Yeah.
saying so with the lipsticks. So every time
Mm.
that our economy dropped, like it was going down, people were buying more lipsticks? Is that what you meant?
Yeah, that this behavior analysis is
But
under
why?
the economic psychology, they call it.
But what is that? Because you know what I think of when you
I'll
say
I'll, t-
that?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. What is the behavioral analysis behind it? I
Yeah,
know you like behavior analysis.
yeah.
So women, when they are in bad position out of money, let's say in a
I
huge
knew
huge
it.
inflation,
I know where this
huge
is going.
a huge inflation or like a mass drop in the economy,
Mhm,
so they are getting less money and less money. So they will redirect their spending out of big brands like Gucci bags and LV bags and
mhm,
other stuff to cheaper stuff
mhm.
that makes them glow.
Yeah, because are
You
they
got
looking
me?
for another husband that makes more money? That's what I thought of at first. Like they're
Yeah,
putting it
it keeps
on.
their self-esteem high
Yeah.
if they use like, and it doesn't need a lot to make your. So if you got two choice, you
Mhm,
have to spend $2,000 to feel good, and like $20, and it will both stimulate the same circles in your mind,
mm.
and you will feel good by both. When you have catastrophe like from economy, you have shortage of money, you're getting less and less money, you will
Mhm.
redirect your spending towards cheaper things such as lipstick.
Which
That's why they
make
got the connection.
which makes sense, but here's where I'm drawing conclusions as a behavioral psychologist, not psychologist, but as somebody that loves this stuff in intersexual dynamics, men, women, what they do. It sounds to me like
Mm,
women buy designer bags for them. They know that guys don't care if they're wearing that.
mm,
However, when you wear lipstick, usually red, what does that do? It's imitating after sex glow, right? For the man.
arousing,
Yeah, yeah,
blood circulation.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you said it better. So when everything is coming to an end, a woman will instinctively go for the thing to attract the male. Like you see
Mm.
where I'm going with this? It's like you're a badass
Yeah,
bitch until your economy's dropping. It's not that it's necessarily cheaper to me. I'm like, oh, they're looking for a man and they don't even know it.
mm.
I don't know. Maybe that was a stretch. This is
Yeah,
interesting
yeah.
though.
That make perfect sense.
Did it?
Yeah,
I'm so looking this up.
of
Okay.
course. Do you know that quote? There is no feminist in a fire.
No. What is
There's no feminist in a fire. So she will be very, very strong and independent
Oh,
until shits hit the road, you know?
and then they look for the man.
Of course.
Okay, somebody once said when it comes to women and I know this is different, but when it comes to women in police force, let's say, or a fire, would you rather if your house was burning down, you were stuck upstairs, would you still want the woman to come and get you out of the fire or a man? It's an
Hell shit,
interesting.
no.
I'm like if she's butch, do you know what that means? It's like a manly woman, like buff.
Even though
I'm like, maybe, but typically a man.
they send one of those manly women, she was a cop, I believe in Norway. They send
Yes,
her to capture a rapist. She got raped.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. I couldn't remember what
Yeah.
country that was. Dude, you're on it. We got your boy in the chat. Yusuf, hold on. You said something before. I don't know if you saw it. The lipstick index is a term coined by Leonard Lauder, chairman of the board of Estee Lauder. Pause, guys. Estee Lauder owns pretty much everything. And when I tell
Mm,
you high end brands to low end brands, it's the same thing, the same product. It's just feeding different demographics. They're reaching different demographics. That's why they do it. Used to describe increased sales of cosmetics during the, yeah, yeah. Oh, look, hi, Kareem is here. English version, good vibes. Does he speak
mm.
Arabic? War paint. War paint is a good way to put makeup. Do you think women wear
Mm.
makeup for themselves, Kareem?
I don't believe this crap. Come on.
We're going to talk about it on Donovan Sharp after this show. So
Mm.
they are really competing with other women. Yeah. Did you hear me talk?
Remember what Jordan Peterson said about it? The video
Yes.
that we
You
comment
showed
on in
it
my
to
channel.
me. Remember? I was
Yeah,
like, I've never seen this video. Yeah. You showed it to me. And you're very right. I was talking about the lipstick
sexually
thing.
provocative.
Yes. Oh,
Sexual
lemonade.
display, yeah.
Yeah. This was a troll from Savo's channel, and he is now my moderator. Women want to be treated like adults until shit hits the fan. Wait.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey man, I'm just a child, come save me. No, here's the thing. I've been saying it. I will not survive well without one. When my father is not here anymore, I'm
And
doomed.
you know what I hate the most?
What? What?
Like when a female trying to act so tough, and when she got beaten, so she will say with a very low voice, "I'm just a woman." Said, "Fucking
Victim.
act like it.
Yeah, victim.
Act like you're a woman. Do not
Mm-hmm.
act like you're a man." Because you know what is the
You
thing that most women do not understand.
you can disarm a man with
If
femininity.
you are if you are acting like a man and man consider you as a man,
Hmm.
he will destroy you.
He will compete with you instinctively.
Of course. And he will never hesitate to take you down, to rip you apart. You
Hmm.
don't want to be in that position.
At
Be
all.
smart.
And why do you think they're feminizing men? It's very
Because
easy
they
to
can't
control.
because they can't handle, okay, yeah, because they can't compete with the
Yeah.
masculine man.
So I read a quote the other day. We can end on this quote because this is going to be, uh, I hope I say it right. It's like we create strong men and then we tell them that we need to be equal. And then the next generation comes and we tell them that they need to be more equal. And then you create weak men. And then what does that do? Is the next generation is going to have to fix that problem or something. I'm saying it so poorly, but it's like we're in the
Yeah,
weak, we're
that's
in,
code for Ibn Khaldun. He is the establisher of the sociology as a science.
mm,
He
and
put the main rules for the modern day sociology. He's an Arabic. He's from Tunisia. He was a Muslim.
he
So he
always
established
knows, Kareem. Like you
this
know
whole science.
everything. He knows
I,
everything.
I I read a lot. I'm a readaholic.
I
I have
know.
reading addiction. Yeah. So what Ibn Khaldun says in مقدمة Ibn Khaldun, guys, for who want to get the book,
Yeah.
which is the introduction of Ibn Khaldun. That's literal translation. He was talking about societies in general,
Mhm.
and he says, uh, weak. Let's say how to formulate it.
You can say it in
Tough
Arabic
time.
first.
Tough time produce tough men.
This is the
Tough,
quote.
yeah. Tough time produce tough men.
Yes.
Tough men produce luxury time. Luxury time produce weak men, and weak men fuck everything up.
And then what do they have to do? What's the
It,
next
the,
one?
s- the cycle will begin again.
And then
You
weak
know,
men have to
all
become strong men again, right? Or
of
something?
course,
Yeah.
of course, of course, because weak men produce tough time again, and tough
Mm,
time will
yeah.
produce tough man again.
Oh, right,
You
because
got
they
me?
have to work harder. Right. Sorry. I was like, wait, why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the civilization and all of human history
Hmm.
is in one step out of this four-step cycle.
Hmm.
We now, like the vast majority of the countries, let's say, at least the Western world,
Yeah.
you reached the luxury time. The
Yeah.
luxury time produce feminine man, very feminized, weak bitches.
White
So
knights.
yeah, so they will break everything out. So that's why. you have to read the Death of the West. It will
Yes.
get you the numbers of the declining.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard like Richard Cooper saying, "Enjoy the decline, don't fight it"?
I haven't seen a lot of his content, but you've mentioned him before. I'll check it. You got to send me the links. Send me all of them.
You have to enjoy the decline. Don't try to find the decline because it
I'm
is
scared of it.
inevitable. It is inevitable.
I know, but like
Save yourself. Save yourself. Yeah.
I was not made to. I'm kidding. No, here's the thing is like being younger and knowing what to expect. I have a large sympathy for, or a lot of empathy for women. I do.
But by the way, you're blessed, Tori. You know
I
why
thank
you're
you.
blessed?
I don't know why.
You're blessed to be surrounded by such like highly knowledgeable,
Men,
knowledged people, and
men.
they are telling you this stuff. Because
Yeah.
usually girls in your age, they
They don't.
all they all care about their nails.
That or what is it? Social media. I know I sound hypocritical too because I'm on social media, but that's all they do, the TikToks and their nails and their dumb degrees.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happens if I don't know. What if I can't find an alpha male? What am I going to do, Kareem? I can't get one where you are.
We didn't mention the spending.
Go
God
ahead.
damn it, that's
We got a
huge.
lot. I know I do. You know what I do, Kareem? Because you haven't given me an answer if you'll be a regular guest. So I bring up other conversations so that I have to say next show, we're going to have to cover the spending. You see?
Hmm.
You're
Hmm.
like,
Let me
ah.
give you let me give you this number. Let me
Okay.
give you this number. Why are the narrative of working woman is the dominant narrative in the mainstream right now?
In order to keep
Because
us in a capitalist nation.
no,
What?
because the woman is spending more money. Women spend more money than men.
Absolutely. I,
Woman earns like internationally.
yeah.
Women's are as individual earns around 14 trillion.
This is why I think it's so stupid when women, feminist
Hold
women,
a
want to
minute.
pay on the date.
Yeah, hold a minute. 14 trillion out of 70 trillion.
I'm
They
going
are
to,
earning 14 out of 70. But they are spending around 54 trillion. They are spending 80% of the global spending.
and you know what they would argue, Kareem? You know what they would
Mm.
argue? Men are objectifying us. We have to keep up with the beauty standards. It's men's fault that we spend this money. That's what they would say.
They, they are spend. Okay, didn't you ask yourself a question? How they are earning 14 and they are spending 54
How? What?
of man's money?
Of course. And a divorce is one of the largest struggles is the financial, what's the word? Differences between husband and wife. And it's always a joke. The woman spends, she's got the credit card. Why?
So, so yeah, if they are spending 80% of the global spending, do you think the owners of the company who's they are spending
Hmm.
to buy the product,
Yeah.
do you think they want the woman to get back to her home and take care of her children and have more babies? No, they don't.
No. Really
They
get
don't.
that point in. Say it again. Like for the
Do you think
feminist.
the owners
Hmm.
of the big companies that women are spending 80%, $54 trillion per year buying their product? The owner of those companies, do you think they want the woman to get back in the home and to have more children and to take care of her family.
Like, think about that, guys. Do you think that? No. If they're working, they're spending. They're making money. The whoever's up here, the elites. You know,
Mm.
like they don't want you. And we've talked about this before. Women are more unhappy. 1 in 3 are on antidepressants compared to times where they were more in the home with babies in the Western culture.
Antidepressants. 1 in 4 women is
1 in
addicted to
3.
antidepressant in the West. Yeah, at least
Yeah.
one in 4. Guess
Who?
who? Yeah, who
Yes.
makes this?
Big Pharma.
Great.
I know. I was like, we're on the
They
same
are making
page.
money out of your misery.
They, that's the perfect, concise way to put it. Like it's like a epidemic. Like uh, they keep you enslaved, if that makes sense. They keep you on the antidepressants so you don't have to realize that your way of living, working, is not biologically what you are most happy doing. They're drugging you, right? It's very
Yeah,
easy to control
of course,
when you
of course.
promote. And listen, I've said
And
it
that's
before.
the answer for a stupid question. That's the answer for a stupid question. Who's happy of making women miserable? They are.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah,
profitable,
because
people.
when you're miserable, you will take more antidepressants. They will make profit. You
Mm-hmm.
will spend more money. They will make profit.
Mm-hmm. And there's research that I've been dabbling in. I'm not saying
The
that
shopping therapy.
I don't partake in that. My sister does. It's a thing. I I don't spend money like that. Like I am in the studio just pumping out content. If I buy anything, it's gear. I don't buy clothes. My sister donated all her clothes to me because of her addiction. Anyways, but what was I going to say? Oh, there's research. I don't know how accurate. It's still inconclusive from what I've gathered, but antidepressants have a way of working on your hormones that influence that not wanting to have kids thing. So if you feel
Mm.
like you used to want kids when you were younger and now you're taking one, think about or look into that. It,
Hormonal birth control pill
yeah.
make you feel that you don't need to have kid.
Yep. That's a big one.
Yeah,
I don't use
because
that
it deceive your mind
a
that
lot.
you are already pregnant.
Correct. This is a big thing. And we've known this for years, but that doesn't really push it enough. You think it would,
Hmm.
but Western culture, that's fake
We
news.
we pulled many strings here
I
in
know.
this video, by the way.
You got to send me all the links too so I can put it in there if you have them. Otherwise, I'll just go through and do it. And you
Yeah,
got
do
to
you mean for numbers?
numbers, links, whatever you got, whatever you do your research, give it to me
Mm,
for
mm.
other people.
Yeah,
Guys, Kareem would never say something if he didn't know that this was reputable. That's why I like him. Me, I will say I'm
yeah.
not sure, but Kareem will not spew a number unless he's positive. So, credibility. We're doing
That's
another show, Kareem. I want you back.
that's why I have studies store on my website.
Dude, when
But
we talk on
it's
the
in
phone.
Arabic, مستودع الدراسات, which is studies store that you need to take your coffee and go to that store.
Do you think Starbucks is run by the elites? I'll be really upset.
It will be a small ring in a small gear in a bigger machine.
Kareem. This is
Hmm.
too much red pill truths. Kind of. It's life truths.
Hmm.
Okay. Guys, what should we do another video on? Can you come on another time this week? I do this
This
all.
week?
I feel like you need to be a regular guest. What are you free? You want to or no?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind, like, but
He's like, I
No
don't know this
promises. Let
bitch.
let let me update. No, no, no. I'm very direct. If I
Okay.
didn't like you, I will never be in your channel.
It's a
No.
good thing for you to have a woman, you know? That's all I got going
Mm,
for me is my, you know, sexual agency.
Zach,
We need an episode weekly because
Zach,
men love
Zach,
it.
Zach, Zach. Do you know your name is Arabic?
Is it?
Zakaria. Yeah,
Zakaria. I know
yeah.
Saman. Isn't Saman
That's
a name?
Salman. Yes.
No, Saman. Saman.
Mm.
Saman. My middle name is Malik.
Malik. Yes.
Who's the guy that sings Pillow Talk? Zayn. Is that a name?
Zain. Yeah.
Isn't his name
It's
Zayn
unique.
Malik?
It's unisex name. Like can be for woman and man in Arabic.
Oh.
Zain.
What's my name in Arabic? Are there like Victorias?
No, that's pure English. Jacob. It's Yaqub in Arabic.
Yakub. It sounds like
Yeah.
Polish.
Jacob. Yaqub.
Yeah. Whoa. My name's not Victoria, by the way, guys. My mom will get mad if she watches this because she's like, I never named you Victoria because people would call you Vicky Icky.
Mm.
Women tend to spend more than they earn. I'm just making sure. He definitely has his stats on point. I know. If you ever Google, I've Googled after our show, Kareem. I'm like, let me make sure he's on point every time.
Mm.
Kareem is a great guest. I know. Malik,
Thank you.
okay, we got that. Thank you so much for coming on. I'll let you sit on the idea of being a regular guest on my show. We're
Yeah,
going
I'll do my best.
to, if you guys haven't already subscribed to his channel, Red Pill Arabic,
Mm.
he's got both.
Guys, who doesn't watch, you have to watch my last show with Daniel Haqiqatjo. You watched it. Come on, tell them.
It's so good, guys. So it literally this man studies multiple religions. He's like me if I knew exactly how the culture is by Kareem, but smarter, obviously. But he understands the disparities between like the cultures and am I explaining that well? I feel it doesn't put it into
Yeah,
words. You
Daniel,
need to
Daniel,
watch him,
watch.
guys. He's
Yeah, you
good.
can watch his like his show, like our show on my
I
channel, and you can follow his content. It's
yeah.
called the Skeptic Muslim.
I
The
want to have
Skeptic
him on
Muslim.
my show. I just,
He he have the modernity risk of Islam. I believe the book. It is a
oh,
great book actually. It is 4.9 on Amazon. Yeah,
oh, hell yeah.
4.9 stars.
Okay,
Yeah.
you just plugged Daniel, which means you said all his stuff, but where can we find you? We want to know where we find you.
Redpillarabic.com, guys. Red Pill Arabic on YouTube, Red Pill Arabic on Telegram, Coach Kareem _RP on Twitter,
Twitter.
and you can call me or book me for a call by Zad Call
Hmm.
application.
Okay.
Zad Call, ZAD, Zad Call application.
He's going to give me all
Yeah.
his links. I don't think we did that last time, and I'll put them in. So, guys, you need him
Hmm.
as a coach. I'm serious. I've said it before. This man holds me accountable in a very stern way. He's making my YouTube channel take off. Have you noticed that? There's structure, guys. That wasn't me. That was Kareem. So, follow him. Thank you so much for coming on. I know I wanted to do the phone calls. We can do it on the next show. I think it's because
Hmm.
of the sensitivity.
Hmm.
Snowflakes. Do you know what I mean when I
Yeah.
say that? Yeah, snowflakes in the house.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna, guys, go check out all of his other stuff. If you want to follow me on Donovan's channel, I'm gonna be on there in an hour. So thank you, Kareem, for coming on.
You're most welcome.
How do I say goodbye?
مع السلامة.
Masalam. Did I do that right?
مع السلامة.
Malo salama.
Exactly. That's it.
Bye.
السلام عليكم.